Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it's all about classic bodybuilding. And today we are going to carve that back into a premium golden era V-shaped airplane carrier. Wide as a house, guys. The wider the back, the smaller the waist. And the smaller the waist, the better it is. So we're starting out with the famous Lat Pulldown, one of my favorite classic exercises for the back. And I'm showing you a little, a lighter weight here. This is about 65 kilos, and I'll show you a heavier weight after this. And I usually show the lighter weights because then I can show optimal form, because with the heavier weights, form isn't always 100%. But I do think that it is important to show you that there's still a good range of motion and control of the weight even right now during the heavier weights. Because this is 110 kilos, all the way down to the last set. The control and range of motion is important. So make sure you stretch those lats at the top. And some people, they think they stretch, but their arms never truly extend. So keep in mind to extend your arms and feel those lats pull apart, if you want that amazing V shape, of course. Now the next exercise, the wide grip barbell row, and I'm going for a combination of thickness and width here, and I could grab the bar wider to target the width more, and if I would go lower and grab the bar shoulder width, I could target the thickness more. So the way I'm doing it now, I'm right in between there, targeting the width and the thickness. Now you have to keep in mind that you have to let the bar go down past your knees. You don't want to focus on the weight. You first want to focus on the form and then build up upon that form with heavier weight. So you have to feel the stretch in your lats. Change up your grip until you feel the stretch. And this version, as opposed to the bent over row, during which I would go much lower, I can go much heavier. So right now I'm doing 100 kilos and I usually stop at around 60 kilos. But now I'm able to pull this weight with the same difficulty. So it is good to switch these exercises up to target at different angles, stimulate different muscle fibers in different ways, etc. Never do exactly the same for too long. Switch it up. The following exercise, the high bar row on the hammer strength machine, I like to use specifically for the stretch. Holding on to something narrow and pulling it down really targets those bulgy muscles right under the lats. When you watch your back from behind, that is. So if you want to add mass to that V shape, definitely do an exercise like this every time you train back. And the form I used right there may look a little strange, but that is the result of the feeling that I get in my back. I want to stretch my lats, and then when I pull back, I automatically aid my lats a little using my lower back muscles. In this way I can overload the lats more with a heavier weight. Not a classic workout without doing some classic posing. That's what you get when you watch Pumping Iron too much. So anyway, this is a TBar World, one of my absolute favorites. Really do try it out the way I'm doing it here. I got it from Arnold himself, as you saw. Narrow stand, small plated weights, let the bar stretch all the way down to the floor. Keep your upper body almost parallel to the floor and just feel this unique muscle experience. This is just great for back thickness and width at the same time. A true recommendation. This is the way Arnold used to do it. So now it's time for another excellent exercise, similar to the high bar row on the hammer strength machine, but I prefer this one, to be honest. This is a very narrow grip pull down, and if you look at the line on my lats, the muscle beneath that line is what you mostly target with this exercise, really getting the width and the mass right there. So make sure to absolutely go all the way up and contract hard at the bottom. You know, everyone has their own exercise where they feel a particular muscle the most. And this, to me, is an exercise that no other exercise can really replicate in terms of how well I feel the stretch in my lats. So give it a shot doing it with this full range of motion and tell me what you think. Oh, and the tank top I'm wearing is one of the early designs of Vintage Genetics clothing. But we are currently in the designing phase and finding high quality fabrics, and it's a fun process really. We design our own logos and images, and then we test it out on tank tops and shirts, and we actually train in them to see and feel whether we would approve. And in the near future you can expect to see us release some of this, so for the ones who are interested, it is coming for sure. And for the back, last but not least, the Dumbbell Pullover. Another old school exercise to target those old school serratus muscles and add back thickness and width. Again, when you're in the stretched position, this is kind of like a narrow grip pull down. You know, it starts like a narrow grip pull down, except now you use your serratus muscle a lot more because of the difference in motion and the different angle. You know, you also target other different muscles, and some people find it hard to focus on the back here. You know, they feel chest, they feel triceps, sometimes even shoulders. And this is a pretty advanced exercise, as deceivingly simple as it seems. So if you have got great mind-muscle control, then you should be able to learn it pretty quickly. But if you are having trouble with this, try the cable version first. You do this by grabbing a narrow bar, bend over parallel to the floor with your upper body, and pull the bar down. You should feel your back working to pull it and your back stretching when you go back up. And I felt like finishing off the traps a little more with the Dumbbell Shrugs, because when you train back, you automatically target the traps and the posterior deltoids as well. And that's why I like including them into the workout usually to finish them off. And this time it's time for the traps. A couple of heavy sets of Dumbbell Shrugs is enough, because most people think only of pulling up the weight when they think of shrugs. But it's equally as important to stretch at the bottom. Let the heavy weight be beneficial to you and let it stretch out those traps and allow it to target them more effectively. Because it has already been a long workout and I didn't feel like doing 2 or 3 more exercises for the biceps, we decided to do an old school method of shocking the biceps to such a degree that you regret doing this while you're at it. That is what we want to do. We want to kill, annihilate, exterminate, execute those biceps to make them grow. So let me explain it to you. You and your workout partner stand like this, face to face, and one starts doing 20 reps of a moderately light weight of barbell curls. And then he hands the barbell to you and you do 20 reps. And after you finish your set, you hand over the barbell to your partner again and he does 18 reps. And then you do 18 and then he does 16, etc. until you reach 0 reps. So every time you decrease the set with 2 reps. Now you might think it would become easier, but it actually becomes harder for 2 reasons. One, you simply get fatigued because you keep doing reps, and 2, the rest pauses in between sets gets shorter and shorter because the reps decrease each set. And this is something you only do once in a good while. Trust me, if you do this right, this is all you need to wake up with sore biceps the next morning, even if you never have sore biceps like me. And as you can see, I'm pretty worn out and the form isn't really there. And that's because all you feel is one big burn in your arms. It feels different from any other exercise or superset, trust me. So if you have the guts, next time you train arms or back and you want a good finisher, try this. You will not forget it. So this was a workout for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Lots of more videos coming to you. And I want to thank you for watching. And don't forget to stay golden.